Good morning. I woke today with some conflicted thoughts. If you saw my Facebook Live yesterday or what I uploaded to YouTube, I shared reflections on Burning Man 2019. And one of the stories that I shared was about my stalker. And after 2 years, I finally spoke about it publicly. People advised me, don't fuel the fire, don't give attention. It will just, make things worse. So just let it go out. And so 2 years ago, I very clearly said, do not contact me anymore. And she continued to email me hundreds of times. I just checked my inbox and I have 340 something emails from her over the last 2 years. And, for the most part, it did not affect my life. So what's the harm, right? I didn't really feel in danger. So what's the harm? But she made a point of telling as many people as possible that she had been dosed on GHB while at Pink Heart 2 years ago on burn night. Now that burn night, we had a pretty uncomfortable situation between the two of us. I felt like I was violated in that moment. She emailed me many times afterwards talking about that night, never mentioning being dosed or anything close to that. So when that became the story and when she started messaging anybody related to a Burning Man group that this happened to her at the Pink Heart, when she messaged the Burning Man organization, which resulted in me having to have meetings with their staff to explain, this incident report. And, and at the burn, having people coming up to me and saying, oh, I heard, just so you know, this stuff's happening at your camp. And I felt so violated by that my instinct was, my need was to clear my name. And I think that in the process of clearing my name, or the need to, I felt manipulated. This person, I've been so clear at trying to stop contact, and this tactic felt like a way to force me to address her and to afford, I had to allow her into my life because I had to address the situation. And what occurred to me last night, as I've been talking to rangers and been talking to a lot of people, is that, what? Maybe she was dosed on burn night 2 years ago. Maybe even it happened at Pink Heart. I know absolutely that Pink Heart didn't dose her, and that no one in my camp, that's just not impossible. However, maybe that's not relevant, and maybe this is an opportunity to discuss. These are two separate, very different issues. And the fact that people are being dosed at Burning Man, and people are non-consensually having their consciousness raped through psychedelics, through GHB, through other things, that I don't want to take the attention away from that conversation. And that, what if she or other people were dosed while at Pink Heart? I don't want to run from that conversation, from the fact that that is happening. And I want to make sure that my desire to clear my name and my frustration with me being non-consensually pulled into this in relationship with this person, that did not supersede the importance of this dialogue and the possibility that she actually was dosed on that night. And that maybe, months later, she realized, oh, maybe the reason why I was acted in that way was because of, I was not in my right mind. Although my experience with her, that was not my impression. However, I had my own stuff going on that night. So I just wanted to avoid the defensiveness that maybe I've been expressing, and saying that while I don't like the method of this conversation happening. I don't want to avoid the conversation. And I've talked about this at length in the past, and I will continue to do so, that there is something extremely wrong about non-consensual consciousness rape. There's anything that is potentially an amazing experience, whether that be sexuality or hallucinogens or intoxication or touch, or there's just the things that potentially are really beautiful parts of the human experience are massive violations when done without consent. And regardless of where that happens, I want to be part of the solution that is talking about it, and as part of the people that are saying, what can we do as a community to look out for one another? What can we do if we hear somebody talking about it, if we see somebody doing it? We never laugh it off, and we come to each other's aid. I know people that were dosed with things this year, close friends. I've heard many stories of people being dosed, and what the fuck? How the fuck is that a part of people's perception of what Burning Man can be about? I can think of how someone might accidentally steal a bike. I can't understand how someone would rape someone's mind, take someone into a place that they did not ask to go, in their thoughts, in their inhibitions. It's just, that's a violation. It's fucked up. So if that happened to this person, that's fucked up, regardless of the weirdness that has happened in our relationship, or our lack of relationship, or our one-sided, very unhealthy relationship since then. I have many, 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 many very disturbing emails from her. And that has tainted my perceptions of this experience. So it's even hard to get people to the state of where I am seeing all this, because you maybe don't have an insight into the soulmate story that she has about us. Anyway, again, these are two separate things, and I didn't not want to react so negatively to the way that I've been drawn into this conversation, that I discounted the importance of the conversation separate from this person. Okay. The other thing I wanted to say today is, and my voice should not have gone up high when I said that, it's 9/11, isn't it? And the only aspect of that I wanted to talk about was the very personal calendar tick for me, which is that when 9/11 happened, I was living in a webcam house, and it was while there, having this life where so much of the world, or my world, was focused on being the attention and being in the center of a broadcast. And then 9/11 happened, and the focus of the whole world went to this tragedy. And there was this brief moment where there was a camaraderie, this global camaraderie, where we just acknowledged that with all of our differences, we know that this is wrong, and we need to think about what has happened in the world today, where people are called to act so dramatically so that they feel heard, or that they, can make changes in the world, or they can, and what can we do? And clearly, so much of us are connected in this. And there was this global camaraderie, and then that quickly changed as the narrative in the news paved the way towards war, as it had this us, them, us, them, us, them, that we're still living in that us, them narrative, and we're still having the consequences of it, and still having the conflicts. But as this us, them narrative was being put into the news, and I was living in this webcam house and so intoxicated on the power of the internet, it's like, well, how can we use the internet to show that it's not so clear that it's us, them anymore, that we have this one click, we have webcams that can connect us to the entire world. There is no us, them anymore. There's just them. Excuse me. There's just us. And that's when the idea for Hug Nation was born. And so 18 years ago, I started doing a weekly broadcast. 18 years, where every week for 18 years, I've been getting in front of a webcam, asking people to hug themselves, and reminding people that no matter what you hear in the news, the world would rather hug you than hurt you. And I still believe that to be true. I still believe that if you travel the world and you meet people face to face, no matter what country, that people will reach out to you. People will open their hearts and their homes to you. They will serve you tea and want to know about your life and share theirs. And so I have no plans to stop doing so. Join me any Monday at 1 o'clock. For 3 years, Grandpa Caleb was my co-host. And who knows what the future will lie, but I still think we need to hear it, and I'm still going to keep doing it. 18 fucking years? Is that really possible? Maybe my math is wrong, because that just can't sound right. I'm too young to have done anything for 18 years. But in a day marked with darkness, I'm going to focus on, that's a source of pride for me. I don't think I've done anything in my life so consistently. And I'm proud. 10 years of Pink Heart, almost 10 years of First Saturdays, and 18 years of Hug Nation. Since when did I become so consistent in things? That is not the story I tell myself. I have to tell a different story. So thank you for tuning in. I hope I hope you are having a beautiful day. I hope that the intentions of these conversations are received in the best possible way. And yeah, thanks for letting me continually grow and learn. I hope it's not at any the cost or consequence to anyone else. And I know that I only have my journey to share and learn from. So thank you. I love you. If you are going through your post-burn stuff, I have a few more. I'm doing a 30-day post-burn integration class. It's $111. We started on Monday or Sunday, but you can still join for until next Sunday. And I've recently changed the name as I learned that decompression is a word that is trademarked by the Burning Man organization. So while there may be concepts involved related to said word, it is a post-burn integration course, trying to maximize what we learn there and trying to stay in the vibration, the growth, the vibrance that we access after that thing in the desert or other experiences like it, and trying to use a community of people to support us against the tide of culture that tries to dim us. So if that is interest to you, please join us. And if it is something that is interest to you, but you just cannot afford that, I am open to energetic exchanges of different sorts. The important thing is to have as many people as possible spreading their light. Who knows? Maybe you'll start doing something with this energy that you'll be doing for 18 years. I love you. Have an incredible day. As far as my voice, I think I just woke up and I'm doing my radio voice. Oh yeah. I love you. Evo asking about the how and where do we find room to discuss the cultural cleanup of dosing and predator behaviors and how to stop it in our camps and community. we're going to have to keep talking about it. I know that our camp we do not have a solid procedure, but we're going to be, and I don't know the answer to that. So I'm going to keep talking and keep learning and keep listening. Thanks for your understanding.